Hey guys, Billy Lawson back with your Lake Fork Guide. Another episode of the Guides Network where we go more in depth than you'll find anywhere else in the world of bass fishing. Today we're going to talk about a technique that is phenomenal throughout the summertime months. We're going to talk about throwing a Magnum shaky head. Alright guys, to start off, let me just go ahead and let you guys know, if you are interested in buying anything that you see here today from 6 Cents Fishing, the rods, shaky heads, whatever you want, or any of their other products, be sure you punch in that code, your Lake Fork Guide, on the checkout screen in the promo box. I'll get you 10% discount on all orders from 6centsfishing.com. So, that being said, the shaky head that I'm using is the 6 Cents Divine Shaky Head. I really love this shaky head for a lot of reasons. The main reason and the first reason that I want to start off with is, you guys look at that hook. That's a 7/0 beast of a hook. That's very important when I'm fishing this big Magnum shaky head. This is not your grandpa's finesse fishing shaky head. This is big fish in heavy cover in offshore structure out deep in the hot summertime months. And when you're fishing in East Texas, that cover is going to be thick. I mean, we're going to have a lot of timber, a lot of brush piles. Every once in a while, maybe some grass mixed in out there. But it's going to be some heavy stuff where you're going to want that big hook. Not necessarily because we're catching such huge fish all the time. We do catch big fish. But the deal is you got to get control of that fish and get him out of that big cover. And that's where that big hook right there comes into play. A couple of other things we'll talk about on the design here. I'll get it out of the package for you. Obviously, any shaky head I use, I want to have a stand-up head. As you guys can see, that's a stand-up head right there. I mean, the wind's blowing out here, and there's no weight on that. It's just standing up straight and tall. So that's perfect right there. Now, the next thing that I look for is a rounded head. I don't want a squared off shaky head. It's got to be round. As you guys can see on the nose of that bait, that head is very round. The reason that is it comes into contact with branches or root systems or brush piles where it's split. Where you're going to hang up is going to be in the crevice of this branch, right? As your line pulls through here, your bait's going to get hung in that crevice. I want a bait that will tend to roll. If I can get that bait to roll, I can usually shake it and work it through those cracks and crevices down deep. And they do come in a couple different colors. You see I got a green pumpkin one here. Probably should be black with this colored worm, but it's just what I had tied on. So I ended up using it today. But, you know, the deal on the rest of the gear is, you know, the number one bait that I'm going to throw on a Magnum shaky head is going to be a Magnum trick worm from Zoom. This is plum apple, probably my favorite summertime color. I also spend a lot of time throwing watermelon seed and green pumpkin. And those are the basic three colors that I'm going to throw throughout summer months. For line, 20-pound fluorocarbon 100% of the time. Direct tie to the bait itself, no leader. So 20-pound fluoro is my line all the time on the big shaky head. My rod that I'm using is a 6 Cents Lux rod. This is the 7.5 heavy with a moderate fast tip. This is a perfect rod for this shaky head right here. It's got enough meat. As you guys can see, it's a pretty stout rod down here on the bottom half. Pan up for me. But as you look to the top of that rod, it's got enough tip to allow me to throw that shaky head, number one, half a mile. And the other thing is it gives me the sensitivity I need to work it through all that dense cover and feel any soft, subtle bites from some of these lethargic summertime bass. On my reel, the one that I'm using is a 7.3-to-1 ratio reel. This is a Daiwa Fuego. You can use I'm not a real snob. I don't have a particular brand that I use. I do like a Daiwa Fuego. I think it's great value for the dollar. It retails around 100 bucks. It's a great reel for that price. But it's very important to have a high-speed reel. Any technique where I'm not moving the bait with my reel handle. I move the bait with my rod tip and I just pick up my slack with my reel handle. So anytime I'm using my reel handle, I'm either picking up slack or I'm trying to catch up to a fish or get him in the boat. Either way, I want as much speed as I can have in that situation. All right, let's talk about areas for just a minute. Brush piles are a big deal in the summertime, guys. I don't care where you are in the country. When it gets super hot, when that water starts getting up into the upper end of the 80s, into the 90s, brush piles become a big thing because fish love to suspend in the summer, and a brush pile is something that allows them to have vertical cover to go up and down very easily and have ambush points and something that's going to draw bait to it throughout the summer months. Now, where I look for brush piles are going to be mostly on main lake points. I want the wind to be hitting those main lake points. So today, as you can see, I've got a south wind behind me blowing in here. We actually been fishing this point out here. It has a ton of brush piles. We actually caught most of our fish today off at this point right here. Just a main lake point, littered with brush, south wind blowing on it. That's the A1 perfect setup for a shaky head in the hot summer months for me. That's what I look for. You can also utilize them in creek channel bends, anything with standing timber, just any type of heavy cover and sharp breaks. It's going to allow these fish to move vertically without having to move very far laterally. It's going to be kind of your deal that you're looking for in the summertime. All right, now I'm going to talk to you guys about how I work this bait, how I set the hook, everything that I do with the rod to get the fish in the boat. So we're going to go ahead and make a long cast out on this brush-ridden main lake point right here. You know, when the bait lands on the water, I want to strip a little line, right? I want to make sure that bait falls straight vertically. If you don't do that, as that bait's falling, it's going to pendulum back to you, and you're going to lose a big portion of your cast. So that's very important. Now, once that bait's all the way on the bottom, it's a really simple technique for me. There's not much to it. I'm going to go really slow in the summertime. I think that's very important. I literally want to count brush. If there's some shell or some rock down there, I want to count the rocks. I want to go as slow as I can stand to go, coming through all that cover. I'm just going to hold my rod tip up. And you'll feel for that brush. I want to pick apart every piece of that brush or anything, any type of cover that's down there. I really want to pick it apart. Sometimes I'll even let it sit there for a minute. Every once in a while, when I want to change it up a little bit, I'll just shake that rod just a little bit, especially when I get stuck kind of on a little piece of cover. Give it a little shake, make that worm dance a little bit. But you know, the waves and the wind that's going to be blowing through here is going to give that worm a lot of action naturally without you having to do anything to it. Now, when you feel a bite, it's going to be important to learn how your bait feels coming through cover, because you'll bump into a lot of trees and stuff, and sometimes when you hit those things just right, it'll feel like a bite to you. It's very important to be patient and learn the difference between a bite and bumping into cover. So when I do get a bite, and I'm sure it's a bite, I'm pretty confident, what I want to do is point my rod down, I want to reel up all my slack, I'm going to check just for a split second to see if there's any weight. If there's any weight at all, I'm going to try and put this reel in my right shoulder. Just like that, hard and fast as I can. Now, the big advantage is with this 7/0 hook, once I've got that fish hooked and I got that rod up high, it's a simple game, boys. When you got a 7/0 hook, you got 20-pound line, you got a 7.5 heavy rod. Get his head up, get his mouth full of water, and just wrench him. Never stop turning that reel handle. Wrench him to the boat, and as he gets there, flip him in. That's the best way to do it. You'll land almost 100% of your fish if you get after them. If you try to get them in the boat yesterday, you'll get just about every one of them in the boat. It's when you start taking your time and playing them, that's when you're going to lose that fish. With that big hook and that big line, don't play no games. Get them in here right now. That's how I fish a Magnum shaky head in the summertime. As you guys just saw, we catch some nice fish with this thing. It works year after year. It never gets old. Kudos to my boy Austin Fowler, who really kind of opened my eyes to some of the details about this last year. He's no longer guiding anymore, but Austin, we really appreciate you sharing what you did last year, and we're just expanding on it this year, and we are continuing to catch big fish on the big 6-cents Magnum shaky head. That's going to do it for today. We really appreciate you watching your Lake Fork Guide. Appreciate you watching the Guys Network as always. We hope these details will help you catch more and bigger fish this summer. Get out there and get after them. You know, it's a grind in the summertime, but you never know when that next bite is going to be a giant. It can always happen, especially in these East Texas fisheries we got around here. They're just amazing. Hey, that's all for today, and we will see you guys next time right here on your Lake Fork Guide.